So now we're going to implement Twitter and Google, and we're basically going to copy everything that we did with Facebook almost exactly, so it's not going to be very difficult. I just separated it into a different file just so that video wouldn't be too long. Anyway, so let's jump right into it. So let's start off first by going into our backend side app, into Passport, and then PassportJS. Okay, this is where we're going to add everything. So first, let's go back into the passport.js website, and then documentation. And so let's start off with Twitter. So go ahead and click Twitter, and then go to Twitter developers right here. And then go ahead and click My Apps. And if you're already logged in, of course, it'll prompt you to create a new one. So I'll go ahead and create a new one. For application name, I don't remember what I used on Facebook, so I'll just say social. Description, test application. For websites, I'll just use my Twitter. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. And for callback URL is going to be where, so in the documentation, if you look, this is your callback URL right here. So what that's going to look like is like this. Actually, I already have it copied, but so it's going to be localhost /auth /Twitter /callback. So make sure you check yes here, and then go ahead and create your Twitter application. Okay, and so after that, and I actually ended up changing the name because I think that's what was giving me an error. So go ahead and head into settings, and where it says privacy policy URL, go ahead and paste whatever. I obviously don't have terms of services, it's just a test, so I just put my Twitter homepage. So once you do that, go ahead and update settings, and then go into permissions. What you'll want to do is right here where it says request email address from users, check that, hit update settings, and go into key and access token. Okay, so keep this up and then go back to the documentation. What we're going to do is copy all of this, and as always we're going to go ahead and paste it. So I'll paste this strategy right underneath Facebook. Doesn't really matter. And then this package up here is actually going to go up here. You can, I don't know, do it below Facebook if you want. Okay. And then don't forget that you also have to install it in the console. So just npm install and then save. Okay. Alright, so just like above, I'm not going to copy that just yet. What I want to do is, so for Twitter, there's something additional that's required. It's kind of hard to explain why, but it was after doing some research in Google, I figured out that this is the only way to get email addresses from Twitter using PassportJS. So go ahead and pause the video at this moment and copy this exactly. If this doesn't work for you, go ahead and search online. It means it probably got updated or something. So just look at the time frame of when I uploaded this, and this should still be good. So go ahead and pause that and copy that. So once you have that, go ahead and comment this out. And just like before, done null profile, and then we're going to log to the console. Profile to see what it looks like. Okay, and then now we're going to go ahead and cover these. So first we're going to grab the consumer key, and to do that, that's why I said keep this up. Go ahead, copy this, paste it over as a string, and then the same with the secret. Okay, and then don't forget to change the callback to localhost if that's what you're using, and then hit save on that. So the rest of the stuff we don't have to copy and paste and all that, because the only thing you have to do is just create the new strategy and then the routes. Okay, so go ahead and get the routes from the PassportJS website. They're right below right here. So we'll just copy these. Then I'm just going to take a minute to fix this up. Okay, and just like before, we're not going to need the success redirect. And then for failure redirect, we'll create a Twitter, we'll say Twitter error. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, and then go into your front end, public, apps, views, pages, login. And we're just going to add a third button, say button type, button. So just all repeating what we did before. This time we'll do warning. We haven't created the function, but we'll name it Twitter just because I just know that's what we're going to use. So we'll say Twitter, okay, and then go into your main controller, and we'll just copy this and do exactly the same thing. Change this to Twitter. Okay, I think we're ready to test this out, so let's see what we get. So go ahead and hit refresh, and then head on over to the login. You'll see that new button. Go ahead and click that. Make sure you're logged into Twitter, and it's going to ask you to authorize. Go ahead and authorize that. Okay, now I have the problem right now that I haven't registered this Twitter, the email associated with this Twitter, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. We'll say okay, so now let me try that. Okay, there we go. So let's check our console to see what the object that we get. Here's everything that we're getting. We only need the email address. So it is, let's see if I can't find in this clusterfuck. Okay, there we go. So it's object.emails.value, and it's an array. So emails is the array. I believe that's the easiest way to get it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and test that out. Right. So what we do that is go back over to Passport and say profile dot, what did I say, emails, it was an array I believe, say 0 dot value. Okay, I think that's correct. So let's just test this to verify. We'll go log in Twitter and see what object we get here. Okay, yeah, I was right. There we go. Pulling up my email. So now we can go ahead and proceed. So really what we can do is we can just copy this whole thing up here. So I'll just copy this, and I will paste it. Actually not there, but okay. And then I'm going to replace this one with Twitter. Delete this. Okay, now let's go ahead and test this out one more time. Go ahead and, we don't need to hit refresh, hit login Twitter. Okay, and actually, so what we need to do now is create that Facebook page, or I mean Twitter page, so we can save that token, right? So what we'll do is, so right here in the callback, we'll do the same thing. Say comma function request response, and then we'll redirect, and we'll say Twitter / token. Okay, and then we'll go over to our routes to ensure that gets created. We'll just copy this same one up here, but we'll change it to Twitter. Okay. And for controller, I think we can use the same exact one. Actually, just to make things simpler, what I'll do is, in our routes, we'll just use Twitter controller. We don't really need to create all these controllers like this, but I'm just doing this to keep things a little bit like, that was the wrong one I edited. Twitter, CTRL, Twitter. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong file. This is the one I want, so what I'll do is I'll just copy this exact controller and basically recreate it, except I'll name it Twitter. Okay. And then we'll change this to Twitter error. Okay. And we'll say Twitter email not found in database. Okay. Alright, so I think this is ready to go. Okay, we're missing the error page, sorry. Forgot about that. Create a new one. Twitter. And Twitter, CTRL. And so what I was saying before is like probably the ideal way to do this is just to make one controller for all social media, and then just inside the controller itself you kind of configure things depending on what social media program or application they're using. But I'm just going to do this just because this is what I had in mind, and it's going to slow me down to think of another way to do it. But I'm just going to take one last look at my, okay, I just wanted to make sure I had Twitter there. So then in login, we're going to have to create another one just for Twitter. And so this is why I was saying it's better just to configure the, like instead of having Facebook and then Twitter and then Google, maybe just have one that says social. But like I said, for now, this is just how I'm going to do it. So let's go ahead and test this out. Hit refresh and then go over to login and then hit Twitter. Okay, and as you see, it logged me in, so it's displaying my username. I can actually view my profile now. And so what I would suggest doing at this point is to test the error. The best way to do that is just delete your users. That way the user that's associated with that Twitter email won't be found, then log out. And then let's see if our error page is working correctly. Just press the Twitter button there. And there we go, it's redirecting us to Twitter error, and then right here, Twitter email not found in database. Okay, so we know that's working, so good to go on that. So now we're ready to go ahead and implement the Google Plus. Okay, so then just go back to the passport page and right below Twitter hit Google, and then scroll down past this one. We're going to use the Auth 2.0 strategy. So go ahead and copy all of this all the way up to there. And just like before in the PassportJS file, we'll paste it right underneath Twitter. And then this is actually going to be used at the top. And then don't forget you also have to install this in the console. Okay, and then I'm just going to fix the rest of this. Comment this out, and then we'll log the profile, and then we'll say done error, null profile, and then change this callback. And then back in the documentation, go ahead and grab the routes at the bottom here. Paste these right below. Okay, and likewise, we'll just change this to Google error. Alright. So now we just need to get the client ID and client secret. So what you want to do is right above here at the top, just click Google Developers. Now you're probably gonna see something different because this isn't my first time coming to this page, so I apologize. You're probably gonna have a different screen, but basically what you want to do is set up Google API and set up a new project when you first enter this page. So I believe the way you do that is I want to say it's Google Plus APIs over here. Okay, yes, then press enable. And then once you've enabled it, click credentials and then click on client. And so then you'll just copy this and paste it over there, and then get your secret. Paste it there. And so at the bottom, what you want to do is at the very top one, authorized JavaScript origins, go ahead and put the domain. And then for authorized redirect, which is basically your callback, go ahead and provide that here. Then hit save. Okay, so you're good to go with that. So let's go back over to the front end. We'll go, actually let's go back into user domain controller, sorry. And we'll just copy, just like before, create a new one for Google. And then change this to Google. And then we'll create another controller. Hit Google CTRL. Just a Google error. Not found in database. Okay. So we'll do the same. We'll just copy these two. Know what happened there? Token. Error. Change this to Google CTRL. Okay. And then go over to the login page and we'll create that final button. Hello, why don't I just copy all of this? To Google. And instead of warning, I'll change it to, let's see, what other ones are there? Info, I think, is one of them. Okay. So I think we're good to go. Let me double check the routes. Okay. And then in the callback, so they already have the this set up. We had to set that up on the other ones, but instead of redirect to that, what we'll do is redirect to Google error, I think is what we said, and then we'll add that token. And so what I'll do, just because I already know that this is going to work this way, what I'll do is just copy the one we have up here. And actually no, let me not do that because I can't remember what the profile looks like. So let me just try this first and see what we get in the console log. So go back over to the website, hit refresh, go to login, and press that Google button. It'll ask you for access, go ahead and hit allow. And don't forget to register that email that's associated with your Google+. Okay, so let me look at the object. Looks like, okay, where's that email? Okay, actually it's not there. I forgot one other thing. After this login, you have to type in comma, profile, and then email, I think it is. Go ahead and hit save, and then we'll try that again. That Google button. Okay, let's see what we get. Alright, and there we go. We're getting the email as an object. Oh, actually, yeah. So we're getting it in an array. So we can do profile.emails array. So just, I think that's exactly how we had it before. So profile.emails, was it emails plural? Yeah. An array. We'll get the first one and we'll get the value. Let me just double check that's, yep, value. And then I'm just going to test that and make sure. Try it again. Okay, and there we go. We're getting that email. And it looks like I made an error in the passport file, so let me just double check that. It says line 74. Okay, yeah, I just accidentally typed an S there. Okay, so what we can do now is copy this and implement it over this. Okay, and yep, it's exactly the same, so we're good to go on that. So this should set us good to go, so let's go ahead and try it. Hit login, press that Google button. Okay, we're getting the Google error, which for some reason is not displaying the error here, so I might have, let me go back to my error and make sure. Okay, yeah, I forgot to create the new one. Google, then change this to Google. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, it's not maintaining the login. Looks like I probably made another error, so going back to PassportJS, I'm redirecting here to Google error instead of Google. So that's where I fucked up, so just go ahead and delete that error if you did the same thing as me. If not, you're good to go. So I'm just going to try this again. Google. Okay, there we go, and now we're logged in. Give you profile. Okay, just like before, I recommend deleting yourself just to test that error. So go ahead and log in, see if we get that error. Okay, yeah, Google email not found in database. Okay, so that's it. We're good to go.